3-1 your final here at Copps Coliseum. The Hamilton Bulldogs over the Iowa Wild. Laura Barney with Derek Wills. A nice recovery for the Bulldogs today, Derek. Want to get your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, a great bounce-back game for the Hamilton Bulldogs, especially with them playing 3 games in 3 days and playing against a team that can be pretty frustrating to play against. The Iowa Wild may give up a lot of shots, but they usually don't give up many scoring opportunities and don't give up many goals. So I think the Hamilton Bulldogs hung in there. They got that 1-0 lead, and this time they were able to score a couple of more goals, which they didn't do last night against the Rochester Americans. And I was anxious to see how the Hamilton Bulldogs would bounce back after a tough loss like last night's, and I think they bounced back beautifully, especially playing 3 games in 3 days.
Do you think for Iowa Wild, who was in the same situation, 3 games in 3 days, fatigue maybe set in a little bit?
I don't think so. I thought both teams did a great job fighting through whatever fatigue there was. And, the first period was really fast-paced. And then I thought, well, maybe the second period and third period won't be as good. But I thought both teams played a full 60 minutes today. And both teams deserve credit for that, especially the Iowa Wild, because they played a couple of games in Grand Rapids, Michigan, didn't get into Hamilton, Ontario until about 4 a.m. And they played 2 games against the Griffins, which are never easy to play. So I think the Iowa Wild did a good job hanging in there as long as they did. But talent-wise, the Hamilton Bulldogs were the better of the 2 teams. And some of the Hamilton Bulldogs' best players played like their best players today. And I don't think that was the case yesterday.
One player we will have to talk about today, Nathan Beaulieu with the Gordie Howe hat trick.
Yeah, good pickup by you on that Gordie Howe hat trick. Al Craig and I didn't even realize he had one until you mentioned it in the post-game interview. But Nathan Beaulieu scored a big goal, the game-winning goal, obviously. He set up the 1-0 goal as well. But that fight that he got in with a bigger guy standing up for a teammate, I think is going to buy him a lot of good karma inside of that Hamilton Bulldogs dressing room. And he's pretty proud of himself for going out there and doing what he did in this game today and for helping his team win a big hockey game. So for Nathan Beaulieu, I think this could be a building block. We've seen him coming out of his scoring slump slowly but surely. He picks up 2 points today, gets in a fight, and he'll be the hero inside of that Hamilton Bulldogs dressing room after this big win.
All right, Derek, thank you very much for your thoughts, and we're going to see what our coaches had to say.
Well, it's a big win for us. Obviously, with the standing that close, we need to get the points. And 3 games in 3 nights, we know it's always difficult, but to be able to play a good game in the third games like we did this afternoon, it's pretty good. We have to learn from our past experience, and we again start the game pretty solid, establishing our tempo, creating good offense in the first period. Then we took the lead 1-0, and then we have to have the killer instinct going for that second goal. Perhaps that would make the game a little bit easier, but it seems that we find a way to give a little bit of momentum in the second period to the other team. But again, tonight, when we struggle a little bit in our zone, and especially on PK, our goalie Tokarski was fantastic tonight for us.
It's cool. I think it's the first of my pro career, so it was an interesting one. Didn't plan on it for it to happen, but glad it did. And at the end of the day, it was great to get a win.
He came to support or help teammates, and Nathan lately is playing very well for us offensively, and he's improving his defensive game also. He's becoming a more complete player, so it's fun to see that he's involved like that in all aspects of the game. We need players like Nathan to be dominant on the ice, and he's been like this since a couple of games.